Welcome back inside Stevens Stadium in Buckshaw Field. David Gentili with you for first round action in the 2018 NCAA Women's Soccer Championship. Milwaukee and Santa Clara. Maria Sanchez for the Santa Clara Broncos, 7th ranked team in the country and one of the nation's 16 seeded teams in the tournament, scoring a 17th minute goal. Broncos up 1-0 as we're just a few minutes away from the second half of action here. Let's take a look around the rest of the NCAA Women's Soccer Championship today. One of the national seeds, one of the top seeds, Georgetown, with a 3-1 win over Central Connecticut State. Clemson and Ole Miss will battle at 3 o'clock. Vanderbilt and Murray State at 4 o'clock. Abilene Christian and second-seeded Baylor will showdown at 5:30 today. And elsewhere, South Florida will also take on Albany, another match that's final in the books. North Carolina, who is the #1 seed in our quarter of the bracket, defeating Howard 4-0. The Tar Heels advancing to take on Kansas. That would also be a juicy men's basketball matchup in the NC2A tournament. Virginia Tech and Arkansas, both winners yesterday, including Virginia Tech upending one of the nation's seeded teams. Texas had a 4 seed. Vatech knocked them off 1-0. Winner of this match will play into NC State. UCLA defeated San Jose State 5-0. Minnesota took down Auburn 2-0. So UCLA will host next weekend, taking on Minnesota. Then the winner of that matchup will face whoever wins this one and who comes out of that between either Milwaukee and Santa Clara against NC State. Elsewhere, looking up in the bracket, Georgetown and Washington State will meet in the second round. Lipscomb and Duke, both winners in yesterday's action. Virginia and Texas Tech prevailing yesterday as well. And then the winners of Vanderbilt, Murray State, and Baylor and Abilene Christian will take each other on next weekend. Top seeded Stanford 3-0 over Seattle, awaiting the winner of Clemson and Mississippi. Wisconsin and Hofstra, both winners yesterday. Big win for Hofstra, 4-1 for the pride of Long Island, New York, over Boston College, who was one of the #4 seeds in the tournament. Texas A&M and TCU will battle it out in a Lone Star State shootout. And Arizona and one of the #2 seeds, Tennessee, also winning in yesterday's action. And final portion of the bracket, West Virginia, one of the nation's #2 seeds, up on top of Radford in a match currently in action. Winner of that match advances to play Wake Forest. Penn State will take on South Carolina. USC awaiting the winner of LSU and Boston. That'll be the only match in the first round played tomorrow. And then South Florida matching up against Albany for the right to take on one of the nation's #1 seeds, Florida State. Tough without a visual, so thanks for bearing with me on that one. But no question, some exciting action already. Still waiting for a match to be sent to penalties to go the 110-minute distance and then go to pens after that. But in that mix, boy, how about the work of the Pac-12 yesterday? 5-0, 20-1 was the goal differential. Stanford over Seattle 3-0, Arizona over Denver 3-0. USC taking down Long Beach State 6-0. Washington State 5-1 over Montana, and UCLA 5-0 over San Jose State. So 22 goals for and just 1 against for the Pac-12 in yesterday's action, making a statement at the outset of this 2018 NCAA Women's Soccer Championship. Broncos kick us off in the white with the red, attacking left to right from our view in the second 45 minutes. And Milwaukee in the black and the gold, attacking right to left. Kelsey Turnbow dribbling through some traffic here. Broncos play it back to Alex Loetta. Nice feint pass that time. Plays one forward and off the inside of the foot of Aaron Corrigan. And you saw the feature on Corrigan at halftime. And as I'm sure you could gather, that was from earlier this season. But good to see Corrigan reflecting on an injury, coming back from it, and earning her way into the NCAA tournament with her team here in 2018. Milwaukee with it here. Chandler McDaniel scooting her way around some traffic, and she'll knock it on back Here is Corrigan out of Whitefish Bay with her line mate, Kelly Swenson. This one controlled, brought down by Kelsey Hedge. Looking for Maria Sanchez, just too far out in front of her, so Gabby Zabala will set up to take the throw. Broncos with a lot of possession in the first half. Milwaukee had plenty of chances to get forward. I think the Panthers had some of their more dangerous chances early on in the half. So that will be the question. What can Milwaukee do to try and break Santa Clara down defensively, find an equalizing goal? But I think it was getting in a good position. That was consistent. I like the build-up play out of Milwaukee. It'll be about creating that dangerous chance. Swenson controls this one nicely, plays it forward for Haley Johnson. Horizon League Freshman of the Year. And Johnson will get us restarted after that one was knocked out into touch. 9 shots and 4 on target in the first half for Santa Clara. 5 shots, 3 on frame from Milwaukee. 3 saves apiece from Santa Clara's senior netminder Melissa Lauder and the Panther freshman Elena Lamacchia. And Lamacchia had a couple of good saves in that first half too. Onwumeka working on Kelsey Hedge, and she'll win a corner here. Lourdes Onwumeka. If you checked out the Panthers Twitter account after the NCAA tournament selection show, had the group behind her, and now they were coming out to California, and it was fun to watch that reaction too. And I asked Kelly Swenson about it yesterday. Said, you guys knew you were going to the tournament, still had that mega reaction. I know it's always a big moment, but what was the deal with being so particularly excited with that matchup? And she said, I think we were just excited to get away from the cold. Barron in on goal here. Broncos able to clear it away. Chipped back in, Lauder poked it out of the box. Crosses on here, high looper, and that will get out. Flag comes up here. It'll be a foul against Audrey Haggart, and a free kick and a set piece. This is something Milwaukee does so well. Opportunity from just outside the box. Couple Panthers standing over it here. Corrigan and McDaniel. Corrigan, 12 assists this season. Panthers committing lots of numbers forward here. 5 players in the box for what should be a very short cross. Cross comes in, headed away by Hedge. Good defensive play by Santa Clara, and well, I really like the idea there behind that set piece. You saw the run over and then the hit almost immediately. Usually it's a second or two afterward, but Milwaukee very comfortable playing in those tight quarters, trying to get the defense off balance, trying to get him to move a little bit and then go right after him. Michaela George looking for Natalie Kennedy. Nice play by Kennedy to send it forward. Get the Broncos into some space. Kelsey Turnbow. Right at the center of the pitch for Maria Sanchez. Sanchez has a go from distance and a diving stop. And Lamacchia able to get on top of it there. Just underway here in the second half between Santa Clara and Milwaukee. And this first round match is an exclusive presentation of the W.TV on Stadium and the National Collegiate Athletic Association. For more coverage of the 2018 NCAA Women's Soccer Championship, go to ncaa.com. Everything you could want is there. Live broadcast links, live stats links, highlights, recaps, updated tournament bracket. ncaa.com. Marika Guay sends it back. Kennedy. Broncos looking to set up Sanchez once again. Sanchez this time with the right. Drop down into the box. Johnson didn't quite get it flush with the right. Still had a moment to collect and try and clear. And Kelsey Hedge is taken down. Michaela Schmelzer fouls Kelsey Hedge. And boy, this is a really good opportunity for Santa Clara. Will be about 25, 26 yards out. Got a host of Broncos deciding what they want to do with this one. Very still day in terms of the wind, by the way. So that's really not something you have to take into consideration here. Well, this is a good spot for a player with a good left foot to have a go at goal. If I were Santa Clara, I'd be calling Maria Sanchez's number here. Sanchez does. Wall does its job. Couldn't lift it up quite high enough. And that time Onwumeka coming out to meet Sanchez and defend that one. Sanchez with the throw. Maddie Gonzalez. Blocked away by a Panther player. Nobody there to chase after it for Santa Clara. Nice defending by Gabby Schwartz. And now Lamakia with the ball in her mitts. And if not for a couple of nice saves from Lamakia and good plays in the first half, Broncos could have very well had two. Rachel Philpotts working forward against Hedge. Now for Turnbow. And Loetta. Now Loetta will try and switch the point, but it's too far for Michaela George. Positive pressure for the Panthers. Wins them a throw in here in the attacking third. Onwumeka will take. He's got Schmelzer. Somewhat even with her. Gabby Schwartz just a little bit behind here. This one headed on by George. Sanchez gets a header to it. A long pass played forward. Control here by Milwaukee. Too much on the through pass, and Loetta's got a full head of steam. Working against Zabala. She'll cut it back. Leaving one for Marika Guay to chase. There is Kelly Swenson. Swenson will play it on forward. Nice play to get there. Give Milwaukee a moment to breathe, but the Broncos will get it back with a throw. And we'll see a substitution here with Mackenzie Schill checking into the match.
In is number 13, Mackenzie Schill. Out is number 5, Lourdes Onwumeka.
Milwaukee all-time in the tournament, 1-11-2. Now that's 2 draws, but they advanced both times when they drew on penalty kicks. Slipped on through. Michaela George is there, with Milwaukee making the move forward. Panthers will stay on it here. Only win in 90 minutes. You go back to 2011 against Illinois State. Team that went to the tournament 6 times in 7 years. 2005 to 2011 under Michael Moynihan before he took the job at Northwestern. We talked about Coach Moynihan a little bit earlier. What a job he did building up this program, and Troy Fabiano continuing that. Advantage played here. A rip from distance. Milwaukee appealing for a touch and possibly a handball, but it gets out for a goal kick. And Melissa Louder will take it quickly to get the Broncos moving forward. But that press has led Milwaukee to winning a couple of balls back in good spots. First action here of the second half, about 10 minutes gone from Santa Clara, California. David Gentili with you on the call. Mark Villapuesa is our camera operator today. Schill able to win it back. Working on Michaela George. Now Jones will send it back for Louder. Louder puts one forward. Great control from Sanchez and then Gonzalez. Maddie Gonzalez turns to the middle. Trying to keep the run going here. And dealt with by Milwaukee. Nice play that time by Philpotts coming back as Zabala was primarily marking Gonzalez then. Philpotts stepping on over to make a good play. Turnbow. Gets back here from Marika Guay. Broncos setting up to try and put one into the box. Controlled here by Kelsey Hedge. Sanchez. Kennedy. Now Hedge. For Michaela George. George's cross is on and right at Elena Lamacchia. She'll drop kick it out that time. Headed on by Haggard. Sanchez on her horse to try and get there, and she'll control it. Sanchez leaves it off. This is Guay. Haggard once again. Crosses it on, and Lamacchia off her line for the take once again. Not just Michael Moynihan, it was the entire Moynihan family that was really at the crux of building up this Milwaukee program. Laura Moynihan was the head coach back in 1991, and then her daughter Sue took over from 1992 to 1996. First full-time head coach in program history. Ended up being inducted into the Milwaukee Hall of Fame back in 2009. And Laura Moynihan's son Michael took over from 1997 to 2011. Former Chancellor of Milwaukee, Mike Lavelle, saying that the Moynihan's the first family of Panther soccer. Kennedy deals with that one there, and fittingly, the playing surface back in Wisconsin, named after Laura Moynihan. Laura Moynihan Field at Engelman Stadium. Natalie Kennedy knocked down. Free kick here for Santa Clara. Kelsey Hedge. Guay. Sanchez. Broncos flooding the box here. Crosses on. Lamacchia is there once again. For Santa Clara, this is a team that won the national championship back in 2001. 28th NCAA tournament appearance this year. They've made it to the Elite Eight 15 times. As recently as 2016. That's a sliding challenge and a foul, and that'll be a yellow card for Jelena Sievert. Santa Clara's Kylie Halverson is on a yellow. Now Jelena Sievert picking up a yellow card here in the 59th minute. Sievert, who's had an outstanding season for this team. 6 goals, 2 assists on the year, including 3 match-winning tallies. Kelsey Turnbow looking back to the Santa Clara bench, getting some instruction from Jerry Smith. Some more of the Broncos superlatives. 10 college cups. Last one back in 2004. This is Turnbow. Turnbow dials it up. Pushes it wide and out for a goal kick. Substitutions for both sides. Morgan Kerber back on for Milwaukee, and for Santa Clara, Gabby McWilliams will check into the match. The sophomore from Westminster, Colorado. She'll swap spots with Audrey Haggard. Seven college cups in 9 years for the Broncos from 1996 to 2004. They also made it 3 times in 4 years from 1989 to 1992. Marika Guay. It's the move going forward here for Santa Clara. Now back on out for Loetta. Brought down here by Milwaukee. Here's Mackenzie Schill in the midfield around Michaela George. Has a runner near side. But Schill patient on the ball, allowing a few more of her teammates to get forward. Now they'll play it on back. Corrigan for Swenson. Now up for Schmelzer. And on for Phil Potts. All the way out to the far side. Broncos got a lot of numbers around the ball that time, stepping in and committing the foul to give Santa Clara a free kick. It was Haley Johnson then. McWilliams for Sanchez. Kennedy. Maddie Gonzalez. Gonzalez toward goal. Gonzalez crosses it back, controlled here by Kennedy. Still loose in the box. George tries to cross it. That's blocked away. George now with the left. Headed away by Swenson. It'll be Michaela George again. And Milwaukee able to win it back here. An opportunity for the Panthers to try and get some numbers forward. They play it through well to the midfield. They'll keep it going to the far side. Gabby Zabala just able to race after it and control it. Zabala's cross. Controlled, top of the 18. Now left on back. Here's a rip. And that one finds its way in. What a strike for the Panthers. We're knotted up at 1. Yelena Seaver. That's a fantastic goal for Milwaukee just past the hour mark. Wow. 7th goal of the season for Seaver. You cannot hit it better than that. And Milwaukee has drawn level with Santa Clara. From about 26 yards out, an absolute blast heading for the right post, nicked off the post and in. Nothing Melissa Louder could do about it. It's brilliance from Yelena Seaver, and it's game on here in Santa Clara. Turnbow. Broncos. Attempted cross block down. Swenson heads it down and sent out for a Bronco corner. Morgan Kerber back into the match after the goal for Gabby Schwartz.
Number 19, Gabby McWilliams in for number 12, Audrey Hager.
Broncos will set up a far side corner here. It's Turnbow to take. Had the assist on the Sanchez goal in the first half. Ross is on. Headed out. That was last off in Milwaukee, and we'll bring it to the other side for a corner. Morgan Kerber heading that one away, and this will be Maria Sanchez territory. 1-1, Milwaukee and Santa Clara just past the hour mark here from the Mission campus. 2 brilliant goals today. The last one from Seaver, knotting us up. Ross is on here, punched on out, falls down into the box, and nice play that time for Schill to clear it away. And you can hear the energy from the Milwaukee fan base on the near side here. Nice cut that time. Sanchez has a go, blocked away. Broncos with it falling down into the box. Sanchez trying to have a go again. Milwaukee clears it as far as Kennedy. Now McWilliams. Energy really picking up from both sets of fan bases here. Great atmosphere for this match here today. This is Alex Loeta with the left. That's blocked away. Gonzalez brings it down, trying to chip it over to keep the move going. And it's sent away from trouble. Now a long boot forward. Controlled here by McDaniel. And now a chance for Milwaukee to breathe after the Broncos applying some heavy pressure after conceding the equalizer. Nice read that time from McWilliams. Stepping up for Santa Clara, it was Haley Johnson who was looking to get forward. Just took her eye off the ball as she had it. Now it's Marika Guay. Turnbow. 1v1. Turnbow strikes with the left. Wide of the far post and out for a goal kick. Substitutions, Julia Barajas back into the match for Milwaukee along with McKenna Stratton. And for Santa Clara, they'll look to get a fresh pair of legs at the top of the attack. And Julie Doyle.
For Santa Clara, number 13, Julie Doyle.
And talking with Troy Fabiano, the head coach, about what he said the strengths of his team are. He said the biggest thing we focus on is grit. We want to make sure we're not getting outworked by our opponents. We want to keep and possess the ball and identify what we need to do matchup-wise against our opponent. Always want to go out and compete. And it's interesting when you think about the seasons these two teams have had. Cross is on here. Lamakia trying to chase it down. She'll be able to scoop it up in her own box. Milwaukee team that hasn't spent a lot of time trailing this year. And you go on the road and you go far from home. You concede the early goal in the first half. And then to come back when you've had some good moves forward, but not really a lot of dangerous chances, and uncork one like Seaver did. Very much something that shows the grit of this group. Long through pass taken back by Loetta. Panthers are trying to pick out 2 runners forward. Now Loetta for Kelsey Hedge. Panthers stepping in that time. Corrigan, nice work to win it back for Milwaukee. Game is certainly opening up here. Back into the midfield. One runner on the far side. Phil Potts controls it here. Loetta. Sends it for Doyle. Has Turnbow centrally. Sanchez on the other side, about even with her. Gets around Corrigan. Kerber still there. Kerber sends it out for a Bronco corner. '67th minute of action here. Set piece opportunity for the host, Santa Clara Broncos. Maria Sanchez. Several options to pick out in the box. Sanchez crosses one in. Headed away by Milwaukee. Still around the fringe of the box with Loetta. Loetta has a go, and that one is out for a goal kick. Whew. What a second half we're having here at Stevens Stadium today.
For Santa Clara, in number 21,
This has been a fun match. Everything you want out of an NCAA tournament atmosphere, everything you want out of a big-time matchup between 2 teams that had stellar regular seasons. And we still have a long way to go. Buckle up. It'll be a fun ride to the end here. Broncos have a throw after the Milwaukee goal kick. On Santa Clara, we'll get a chance to bring on a substitution here. Skylar Smith will check into the match for Marika Guay.
Skylar Smith. Out for the Broncos, number 18.
Broncos with Maria Sanchez got on the board in the 17th minute. And then Milwaukee's Yelena Seaver equalized in the 62nd. Seaver from Schill, Sanchez from Turnbow. Here's Hedge. Sets up onto her left. Hedge tries to scoot one in. Looked like a handball, but it's not given there. Oh, at first glance, that looked like a handball from up here. But Matthew Buckman saying no, and saying it to his credit right away. Gave the definitive no signal on what looked like it could have been a handball then. Well, the question is, was the forearm in a natural position when it was hit? And again, from first look, I didn't think it was. Right out, this is out off of Schill. Kylie Halverson for Santa Clara. Broncos taking the throw in quickly. Halverson slips one through, but it's dealt with before it could get to Sanchez. Now McWilliams. Sanchez. Cross from Sanchez. Slid through and in for the goal. Kylie Halverson puts Santa Clara back on top 2-1. Cross came into the far post. Halverson sliding in to clean it up. And the freshman with her second goal of the season. Her other tally, one of the biggest goals of the year in a 1-0 win over North Carolina. So 2 big goals in 2 big moments here in 2018 from Kylie Halverson. This one coming in the NCAA tournament. And Halverson is back on it here.
Sanchez in the 69.
Halverson from who else? Maria Sanchez. 15th assist for Sanchez on the year. Now Halverson will cross it on a hop and taken back by Elena Lamacchia. Great cross that time. Good run far post. And Swenson that time was right on top of Halverson. But Kylie just able to get around her that time and get in position for the finish. Pretty good marking, but not tight enough at the end of the day. Too far in front of Michaela George, and out for a Milwaukee throw-in. So Sanchez in the 17th for Santa Clara, Seaver in the 62nd for Milwaukee, Kylie Halverson in the 69th for the Broncos. Connecting on the other end of a back post cross then. Onwumeka pushing and shoving from both sides. And foul given for Santa Clara here. Lourdes Onwumeka working against Michaela George. Physical play wins a free kick for the Broncos. You can see Jerry Smith at the bottom of your Santa Clara screen. Just telling his team to slow some things down here. Now they'll pick it back up with the free kick. And you gotta like the intent for Santa Clara after giving up the equalizing goal. Broncos got after it quickly and got one inside of 8 minutes of conceding. Bidding for more here as Halverson into the box. One cross, cleared away, and then Halverson just lost her footing that time, gives it back to Milwaukee. As Corrigan lays it forward, Jones with a little dummy move. Back for Alex Loetta. Now Hedge. Into space. George. 4 Broncos in the box. Crosses on for Sanchez. And Maria Sanchez puts Santa Clara on top 3-1. The Broncos get 2 goals in 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Sanchez set up Turnbow for the first goal of the game. She gets a goal of her own here. Oh no, beg your pardon. It was Turnbow that set up Sanchez. So now it's a double for Maria Sanchez. 3-1 Santa Clara. 7 goals on the season for Sanchez.
Rather the 72nd minute.
And you talk about the strength of this team. Offense. Team that can hurt you in so many different ways with so many different players. And the Broncos cranking up the intensity after allowing the equalizer just past the hour mark. And now 2 goals to the good with about 18 minutes to go. Back here for Sanchez. Sanchez with the left skims the bar on its way over and out for a goal kick. Bidding for the hat trick that time. Just a little bit underneath it. Chandler McDaniel is in. Marika Guay is in. So the Broncos, a 2-goal lead, 17 and a half to go. And if you're Milwaukee, time to get forward here. You got nothing to lose at this point. And needing 2 goals to try and come back and keep this thing going. And Yelena Seaver, who had the goal a moment ago, down on the pitch. So both teams will come back to the benches, get an opportunity for a quick breather and a quick respite here. 3 goals overall in the match in 10 minutes and 7 seconds here in the second half. Seaver equalized. And then the Broncos turning it up. Officially 2 goals in 2 minutes and 21 seconds. Halverson's second of the season, and then the second of the day from Maria Sanchez. Assist on that one by Michaela George. Remember talking with Jerry Smith, the Bronco head coach, down the home stretch of West Coast Conference play. This is the Bronco team, by the way, had a lot of close results in WCC action. 3-2 against San Francisco, 3-2 against LMU, 3-2 against Portland, 1-0 against Gonzaga, 2-1 at San Diego. The Portland and San Diego matches both went to overtime. I asked him about
For the Panthers, number 11, Taylor
just
Torrey back
kind of
in.
thoughts as we rattled our way through conference action. One of the things he said was, felt like his team was sitting back a little too consistently when it got the lead and not continuing to go for goal. And kind of pumping the brakes a little bit when he wanted to see them continue to get forward. Well, that has not been the case today. Santa Clara kept the attacking moves going when it had the 1-0 lead. And then when the pressure was turned up after Milwaukee leveled it, 2 goals in quick succession, now on top 3-1. Broncos a very hard team to come back against because of how well they possess the ball at all levels. You got to try and get some pressure, but you've got players all around the pitch that are comfortable distributing, comfortable dribbling, a lot of midfield quality anywhere you look for Santa Clara. So it makes it a tough team to come back on for that reason. Here's Michaela George. Cross from George. Swenson there. And she will send it on away for a Santa Clara throw-in. You got to pick and choose your spots to try and put that pressure on when Santa Clara has the ball. But it should lead to some more runs forward here for the Broncos. Santa Clara playing for the 40th time at home in the NCAA tournament. 35-4 coming into today. Cross from Sanchez. Knocked down in the box. Free kick here for Milwaukee. As we mentioned, the winner of this one advances to the second round. We'll take on the North Carolina State Wolfpack for the Broncos if they're able to see it through. It'll be the second time in the last couple of years that Santa Clara and NC State have met up. Did so on a rainy day back at Kagan Stadium some 2 years ago. That was in the third round after the Broncos knocked off number 1 Stanford and went on to defeat North Carolina State on their way to an Elite 8 trip. And right now the Broncos not minding this pace at all. Things slowing down, taking advantage of some opportunities. Take a little time off with some free kicks, but Milwaukee wins it in the attacking half here. Move forward for the Panthers. Shot from range for McDaniel, knocked down by Louder. Well struck in terms of the power behind it, but right at the Santa Clara goalkeeper, who's able to deal with it. And then whomever advances here to take on NC State, winner of that match, will play the winner of UCLA and Minnesota. One flick on by the Panthers, running down into the box. Gabby McWilliams getting there for Santa Clara. Plays it back in here, short for Loetta. Broncos with some good space to work with, and that one slid out. Out for a Panther throw-in. So the pressure leading to a couple of balls won in some good spots. Rouse is on, header flicked on. Just out of the reach of Onwumeka. Corrigan trying to get there. Now the Broncos have a run out. Sanchez Tried to get through for Kylie Halverson, just hit off her back heel, but good play by Halverson to recover, and a sliding challenge. Another great play from Kelly Swenson. Cutting out the run of Maria Sanchez. Now the Broncos will swap out left backs. Gabby McWilliams will come off. Audrey Haggart will come on for Santa Clara. And now Matthew Buckman calling for the clock to stop while the Broncos make this substitution.
For Santa Clara, number 12, Audrey Haggart back in. For number 19, Gabby McWilliams.
Sanchez in some tight spaces that time. It went out before that poke forward from Morgan Kerber. A little more than 12 to play here. 3-1 Santa Clara in what has been one of the quieter spells of the match we've seen since that second Bronco goal. Sanchez. Few step overs. Back for Natalie Kennedy. Kennedy sets up on her left, and it's blocked away. Halverson chasing after it for Santa Clara. Now sent back into the box. Headed on down. Halverson racing after it. Plays that one out for a Milwaukee throw-in. Seaver, the freshman who was down injured a moment ago, she's back into the match. She has the lone Panther goal here today. Played up into the midfield, but Natalie Kennedy is there for the Broncos. Marika Guay. Freshman from Chateauguay in Canada. For Halverson. First time cross from George. Back post. Sanchez is there. Puts the header on goal, and Lamaki has got it. Fifth save of the day for Elena Lamacchia. Had herself some good saves in this one for the Panthers. Now, did some good work to keep the scoreline at 1-0 for as long as it was. On Wameka. Back here for Seaver. Trying to slip it through. Seaver, few step overs. Chips one on through, but too far in front of Wameka. And Louder there to take it. And Louder's just going to stand with the ball. That's a situation where you have to know where you're at in the match if you're Milwaukee. And to Louder's credit, something that she's always aware of late on in matches when Santa Clara has a lead. They play it into you. You can just play it with your feet. Hang out for a moment until somebody runs in and forces you to pick the ball up. Mackenzie Schill back into the match. Well, we saw the whistle for a moment, but this one played out for a Santa Clara throw-in, so Mackenzie Schill will wait to come back into the match here. Broncos trying to make it 4 consecutive seasons with a win in the NCAA tournament. Milwaukee's got a 2-goal mountain to climb to get back into this one. Maria Sanchez. Cross from Sanchez. Plenty of Broncos there, but it's headed down. Corrigan with the play for Milwaukee. Now Natalie Kennedy. For Halverson. Halverson trying to dash through the defense that time. Ran right into Onwumeka, kept the physical presence going, but nice job from Lourdes Onwumeka, senior from Hercules, up here in Northern California.
For Milwaukee, number 13.
Out for a Milwaukee goal kick.
Number 5, Lourdes Onwumeka.
Will the Panthers be able to find a way here? Try and get back into this match. Flicked on here, Loeta there for Santa Clara. Good play to control it, send it out wide for George. George's pass forward, Cut out by Corrigan. That one sent on back, and you could hear the imploring of some of the Milwaukee faithful here, saying go forward. That one just out of the reach of Schill. Jones, back pass for Louder. Well dealt with by Melissa Louder. And a good find forward for Halverson to Guay and now Smith. Deflected on through. Corrigan takes it back. Haley Johnson. Slid out that time by Michaela George. Broncos with Halverson. Curled that one just a little too much, trying to pick out Julie Doyle. That one hit off the outside of the foot. Schill trying to chase it down. Hagart hustles to win it, but Schill will have the run forward. Couple of players to pick out. Schill tried to add a go from range. That was blocked. Back into the midfield. Here is Phil Potts. Schmelzer. Numbers are forward here for Milwaukee. Schwartz crosses one on, and Alex Loetta is there. Loetta with a through pass. Cutting back against Julie Doyle. Some appeals for offside that time, but the flag was down. Doyle would have had an opportunity to run on and be in on goal then for the Broncos. Kugler off the bench here for Milwaukee. Getting to the dying embers of this game. Panthers looking to stoke the fire. Try and ignite something here to stay alive. They need 2 goals to do it. This one played forward. Swenson is there. Now Kugler. Lays it out wide. Long ball forward. Heading into the box. First time hit is on. Blocked away by Michaela George. Nice positioning that time in front of Schill, and George sends it forward. I think she was trying to pick out a teammate that time, but made the good defensive play to stop that ball into the box from becoming anything too dangerous. Schill. Nice stretch that time from Natalie Kennedy. Big play to stop the move forward, and it's a foul against Schmelzer. And now the Broncos will be shown a yellow card for wasting time. Yellow shown to Alex Loetta here in the 85th minute. Kylie Halverson yelling a Seaver, also on yellows in this match. Julie Doyle leaves it on. Turnbow is there for the Broncos. Sent out by Corrigan, and now Matthew Buckman, who just issued a yellow card to Alex Loetta, is bringing over the Bronco captain for a quick word. George, long one forward. Sanchez flicks it through. Nice pass to find Julie Doyle. And Doyle will just hold it by the corner flag. Broncos able to break back through. They'll get it for Sanchez. Back for Doyle. She'll go right back to the flag. Or at least hold it in that area. Kennedy trying to get there. Big challenge in the air. I don't think we'll be seeing a yellow card this time. But some contact that time, taking Marika Guay to ground. An aerial challenge against Michaela Schmelzer. Now a free kick for Santa Clara. Looking at about 29 yards away from goal here. A couple of Broncos standing over it. Maria Sanchez goes direct with the left. Wall blocks it away. Header goalward. Kennedy chasing. Poked by Milwaukee is still in play. And Natalie Kennedy puts it on ice for Santa Clara. The Broncos lead it 4-1. Kennedy stayed after it. And that is the goal that'll see the Broncos through to the second round. Elena Lamacchia has played a very good game. She's played a very clean game today, but not definitive on dealing with that one, and Santa Clara capitalizes on the miscue. Third goal of the season for Natalie Kennedy. Tallied all 3 in the last 2 matches. And it's 4-1 Santa Clara. 11 goals now for the Broncos between their last 2 matches.
For number 22, Alex Loera, and number 7.
Mackenzie Schill has a rip from range, skipping across the face of goal. And out for a Santa Clara goal kick. Maria Sanchez for the Broncos in the 17th. Helena Seaver for Milwaukee in the 62nd. And then the Broncos 2 goals in less than 3 minutes. Kylie Halverson in the 69th. Sanchez made it a double in the 72nd. And Natalie Kennedy just a moment ago in the 86th minute. Gonna give the Broncos their 12th win at home, a perfect 12-0 at home here in 2018.
Number 9, Marissa Stowe bring in. For number 8,
and it'll run the all-time home record in the NCAA championship to 36-4. Hustle here from Skylar Smith. Winning it back here is Mackenzie Schill. Schill fighting her way through a couple of Broncos, but George is there to get it back. And now George will settle it down, plays it on back to Audrey Hagar. So it'll be Santa Clara making its way through to take on NC State. That matchup will come next Thursday in Los Angeles. Winner gets the winner of another nationally seeded team. UCLA got one of the number 2 seeds in the Minnesota Golden Gophers. Here's Kennedy. Tries to angle one in with the outside of the foot. Sanchez, one feint around one defender. Now 1v1 against Swenson. Sanchez plays it out off of Milwaukee. Bronco corner kick here. Broncos will move on to take on the Wolfpack. 1-0 winners over Northwestern. And again, a rematch of a tournament matchup back at Stanford a couple of years ago that saw Santa Clara go through. George dials one up, blocked away. Blocked that time from Seaver. Broncos play it to the near side for Hager. Low driven cross, little flick on and a diving stop. Skylar Smith just tried to usher it through for Julie Doyle. Great pounce. That time from Elena Lamacchia. Freshman has an incredibly bright future for Milwaukee in goal. And you think about the game Lamacchia has played. Really just the one big mistake on Kennedy's last goal. I think she had herself a stellar effort in net here today. This is a side so good defensively. Milwaukee did not give up more than 2 goals in a match this season coming into this one. 2 goals in a win over Wright State, and then an overtime win over Iowa State earlier. But that's it. Didn't give up more than a goal in any match outside of that. And that was one of the big questions coming in. highest nationally ranked team that Milwaukee has played going back to the early part of this decade when they took on number 4 Notre Dame. What would the step up in competition be like? And ultimately, when the Broncos kicked it into overdrive, too much for the Panthers to handle here today. But this is a team that's not going anywhere. Got to tip your cap to Troy Fabiano and the Panthers for an outstanding season. But the day is Santa Clara's. Broncos win it here at Stevens Stadium in Buckshaw Field. Our final 7th ranked Santa Clara 4, Milwaukee 1. What an entertaining match here from Stevens Stadium and Buckshaw Field. And congratulations to the Panthers on an outstanding season. They finished with just their 2nd loss in 19 matches here in 2018. The Broncos 17 wins on the year in 21 matches. Perfect still at home. Versus Santa Clara has been an exclusive presentation of the W.TV on Stadium and the championship. Go to NCAA.com. For all of us here, I'm David Gentili saying thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of the tournament and good afternoon from the Mission campus.